Is MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor secretly building the U.S. crypto reserve right in front of all of our faces? You know, a few months back, President Trump announced a U.S. crypto reserve. And well, he said it wouldn't cost the taxpayers anything. Is Michael Saylor a plant for the government? Is he building the reserve? Why are they allowing him to do this? Now, there's a lot of trouble behind the scenes. Is Michael aware of this? Is it true or is it conspiracy? You need to talk to me in the comments below, but I'm going to show you what I found. The once darling of Wall Street, Strategy, formerly MicroStrategy, has been dumping while Bitcoin is on to all-time record highs. And Strategy is just a Bitcoin treasury. See, I've been in this since Michael Saylor was buying Bitcoin at $10,000. And, well, I have a history of watching him. And since the .com era, he had a software company. And back in the day, the SEC came after him. And, well, he was worth $9 billion at the time and wiped, completely wiped for accounting fraud. This is history of MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor. I have to check on my Bitfinex trade I'm about to win this morning with the AM pump. Let's get back to where we were. So let's say he's not working for the government. What about confiscation? What about if the U.S. government confiscates Saylor's Bitcoin to create America's crypto reserve? It's not hidden, it's public now. But this was always planned. They took all of the Silk Road Bitcoin, all the seizures they've done, and now new regulations have been signed into law, okay, where things are happening now. Like you're going to be able to use your crypto to go ahead and qualify for a mortgage. Why? That, and in combination with all the KYC of all the exchanges, well, every Bitcoin is marked. Every dollar in crypto is tracked through blockchain analysis, everything. So this is a total control of the monetary system. This is the new digital gold. Now, Michael Saylor's been in trouble with the SEC before. Many of you don't know that there are already many lawsuits from current investors of MicroStrategy. Wall Street is getting sick of this game. They're starting not to believe it. It's getting old. There are many new treasury companies that are popping up. Crypto treasury companies, mostly Bitcoin. There's about 30 of them trying to replicate what Michael Saylor did. Except they're not buying at $10,000. They're not buying at $40,000 like he did. They don't have the deep pockets that he does. And, well, as they begin to topple because they are starting their treasuries at all-time highs, and most of them are not true crypto people. They are failing businesses like MicroStrategy once was. It was a failing software company before he decided to make the flip into a crypto treasury company. Maybe they call their software AI or something now to make it flashy, but it's nothing. It's a drop in the pan. He's been around since the .com era, so we know the history. But the U.S. government said that this reserve would not cost the taxpayers anything, so confiscation is coming. I just posted something in my Discord right now. Again, my crypto Discord is locked to outsiders. Okay, we are leverage traders. There are things that we are doing now. There are private Zooms, everything. It's all free, but the key is this. The only way to get in now is go underneath one of my videos, open it up, click show more. I'm going to take a second to show you this. There's the exchange I love to trade on, Bitfinex. It's like mining money from human beings. For the Discord, click on this link. It's going to take you here. Put in your email address. As soon as we reopen in the next few days, you'll be one of the first ones allowed in. We'll get rid of all the scammers, okay, all the impersonators, all the nonsense, and I'm doing a free Zoom for everyone that's going to teach you the new trade, the new way to walk away and trade, all for free. Get on the list now. It takes a second. Let's jump here. Speak, robot.
Oracle said there's something you need to know. Why is Bitcoin booming and MSTR not? There's a quiet dissension against the company. Most people don't know this. There are multiple lawsuits from investors. He has to keep increasing his cost basis to keep the facade up. People fell for his line of shit for a long time. To Wall Street is now smartening up. They are shorting him. The most crazy of them all is that he is building the government's crypto reserve, whether he believes it or not. One of two things is going to happen to MSTR. They are either going to implode like Terra Luna, or the government is going to find a way to file a case against them, maybe investor fraud, something like that. Something's going to happen, and guess how we are going to fill our crypto reserve? Remember, the president said it wasn't going to cost the taxpayers anything. If they find a reason to go after MSTR, which is very likely, and confiscate all his Bitcoin, there's your reserve. The government will make all of the investors whole in a settlement, and they're going to pay them out. But not in Bitcoin, no, they're going to pay them out in printed paper money. This is the long game.
Wow. Can you imagine? They confiscate all the Bitcoin, which is so rare and irreplaceable, and they pay them out with dollars. You know, the government confiscated gold back, I don't know, it was like the 70s or something. They talked about it. And they paid everyone in dollars that they print up. Are we getting ready to build the U.S. crypto reserve? Oh, and there's a lot of new tax laws coming that are going to allow them to track every hop you make in crypto. And they're going to have reasons to confiscate your crypto. Oh, yes, the reserve wasn't a pleasant thing. It was dressed up. It was a dirty, sick whore dressed up as Miss America. And it's all to take away or to create a new dystopian future. You may think that I'm a hater, I don't know anything, right? I've been living off crypto since, it's been 8 years now, almost 9 years. I don't save my crypto, I earn it and spend it on great things and a great lifestyle. But I want to know what you think. Is this happening? Or does he know? It makes perfect sense. You want some more backup? We got the lawsuit starting. Now, here's how it works. Michael Saylor sells bonds or convertible bonds. He even creates preferred stock and all kinds of stuff. He's got one called Stark, Strap-On. There's a whole bunch of them. And he takes this money, which is borrowed, basically, okay, and he buys Bitcoin. Now, he can't sell Bitcoin because it ruins the narrative. As a matter of fact, this time when he bought 651 Bitcoin slowly. He didn't buy it on Sunday, we dumped. He bought it slowly over the last few days, trying to keep the price up. He went to Microsoft, he went to Amazon, he went to all the big companies trying to convince them to have a crypto reserve, and they laughed him out of the office. The way Blockbuster laughed out Netflix back in the day. They laughed him out of the office. Okay, so now he's got to keep pumping the price, the evangelist. So what does he do? He's got to keep steadily buying. And he's got to keep buying at all-time highs. Because when he stops buying, the all-time highs go away. So then he's got to buy the dip. Nobody else is buying. That's why it drops so much. We dropped like $5,000 in one day on Sunday when he didn't do his expected buy. So this is going to have a cascading effect. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit of crypto history you may not know. Forget FTX, all right? That was just a fraud. That was a fake person, okay? Fake exchange. Let's look at Terra Luna, all right? They had a crypto cash machine, just like Michael Saylor does. We have a definitive divergence between the stock and Bitcoin. Okay, so this means that Wall Street is running. Something is up with MicroStrategy, aka strategy. Okay, I'm going to use excerpts of this video. I am going to teach you a little bit about crypto history now. Okay, the $45 billion crypto collapse, and strategy could be way bigger, even if he doesn't cause it. All of the new all of the new treasury companies can create a domino effect if they start to fall. There's like 32 of them that started at all-time highs, not at 10,000 or 40,000. And even MicroStrategy is being diluted. All of their $10,000, $40,000, $50,000 Bitcoin has been negated by buying at all-time highs. Listen to a little of this history. I've lived this, and I want to share bits and pieces with you.
A system so elegant, so mathematically sound, that it was supposed to redefine money itself. And for a brief moment, it did.
Just like strategy. It was a unique system, right? So he has ATM. Listen.
A stablecoin that always stayed at $1, a companion token that climbed into the stratosphere, and a community that believed they were part of something unstoppable, but they weren't.
Sounds familiar, right? Cult-like community. This was massive. Let me tell you, if this happens with strategy, we're all going to get rich. Those of you in my Bitcoin Insider list, those of you in my Discord, we will short it all the way down. And if it rock bottoms at like 40,000 and there's blood in the streets and nobody wants to ever touch it, we're going to all scoop it up.
Because while investors were celebrating, a hidden flaw deep inside Luna's code had already started ticking. It wasn't obvious. There were no headlines, no alarms, just a quiet series of transactions.
Right now, none of it is obvious. Everything looks rosy. I'm showing you the inner cracks.
Deliberate. And then, over the course of just 72 hours, $45 billion vanished.
It collapsed. Now, keep in mind, Michael Saylor refused to prove his reserves. There's something called a Merkle tree that many exchanges use that proves your reserves. Okay, and it doesn't put your Bitcoin at risk. Michael Saylor refuses to show the reserves. Nobody's catching this. He says it will put his Bitcoin at risk. He refuses to prove.
The story of belief pushed past reason, of arrogance disguised as genius.
Doesn't that sound familiar? Arrogance described as genius. If you listen to Michael Saylor Babylon, sometimes it's almost lunacy.
Of how one of the most promising ideas in finance became one of the fastest wealth destructions in history. And it begins, not with Luna's fall, but with the man who built it. This is the story of Luna.
Destroyed everyone.
Boldly declaring terror to be the future of money. He described the system as invincible. He dismissed critics as fools. And his followers.
Information revolution, first on the web. And Bitcoin's big innovation was we don't just move digital information anymore. We move digital energy. If I can move $1 million of energy from me to you, I can move $1 billion of energy from me to you. But if I can move it from me to you, 10,000 days, I can move $1 billion 30 years, move energy through time and space.
It's just gibberish. It's flying through time and space. And by the way, he's on a yacht. I know, because I happen to have. Well, moving on.
They called themselves lunatics, a play on words that became eerily prophetic. By 2021, Luna's price was surging. UST was gaining traction. Billions were pouring into the ecosystem. Terraform Labs had backing from some of the biggest names in crypto. Galaxy
Sounds
Digital.
Familiar, right? They are backed by everyone. This is going to be the crypto hat trick on Wall Street. Now, he's either going to fail because of the companies underneath him that will fail as soon as Bitcoin slips a little bit below their liquidity level. And then it will affect him. But then we also have the governmental angle. So many lawsuits, so many upset investors. They're hiding this from you. But I think the government is licking their chops. Oh, confiscation is the way. The taxpayers don't have to pay. That's what they told us, right?
Coinbase Ventures, Pantera Capital. To outsiders, it looked like a revolution in the making. To insiders, it looked like a rocket preparing for
This
launch.
doesn't describe MicroStrategy. Let's fast forward a little bit more through this.
And still, he kept building. Filled with laser eyes, rocket
laser
emojis.
eyes. Hold on.
go pew pew. Got my laser eye. Look at me go pew pew. My gun go.
raising deep like a prophet.
Without further ado, I'd like to talk about the future of Bitcoin.
And this goes on and on and on. This is a sales
Conductors
pitch.
don't make it easier to mine gold. Mobile
I
phones
believe in
don't make it
Bitcoin, but
easier
I
to
don't
mine
believe in
gold.
Michael Saylor.
And while the hype machine roared, Anchor Protocol quietly became the engine behind the illusion. Anchor was a decentralized savings platform built on the Terra blockchain. It allowed users to deposit UST and earn an astonishing 20% annual yield.
Everyone got destroyed, wrecked, and lost everything when it failed, okay? Now, we think that this could possibly happen to Bitcoin, but Bitcoin can't be taken down. Again, the focus here, the whole point of this video, what I want to know is Michael Saylor a government asset, or is he going to wind up being a victim? Something is brewing. There are cracks forming. I'd like to know all your opinions down below, whether you're a fan or whether you think this makes a lot of sense. Because now, here's something else. If he has to sell at all, the whole narrative gets destroyed. You know he has to pay out. At first, his bonds had to pay out no interest. People just wanted it. Now he's had to convince them, and they pay out like 10% or something, okay? And what happens is it's not paid out in Bitcoin. It's paid out in dollars. Where does he get dollars from? Not his software company. There's no yield on Bitcoin, no actual dividend paid. Over time, he's going to have to sell some Bitcoin at some point to make this happen. This will tank the Bitcoin price. All of this will cause a flurry of lawsuits. They will make this no longer legal, this Bitcoin treasury. They will call it some sort of Ponzi. They will change the rules, and they will fill the government's reserve. Michael will be a casualty of his own doing. I'd love to hear all your comments below. You're probably not seeing this because they don't want this shown. If you're a subscriber and didn't see this video, unsubscribe, subscribe again, and then post a comment. Now, how could I say you didn't see the video when I'm talking to you in the video? Because you might be in my Discord, you might be in my X, or I might have emailed it to you. Tell me below what you think. Everyone, have a phenomenal day.